The classic caramel apple tart of Paris is now something that is served worldwide. The Tatin sisters and their little bakery put Tarte Tatin on the map. Probably one of my favorite desserts. I think this is one of those kind of easy showstopper desserts, and I want to underscore easy because it's so simple. The first thing you want to do is throw your butter into your pan. All we want to do is let this butter and sugar melt in our pan. Here I have a whole bunch of apples that I have peeled and taken the core out of, and we're essentially going to line the apples up. When you load it with apples, and the apples release their juices, and the juices and the fat and the brown sugar all boil together, they essentially emulsify and create this beautiful caramel that soaks up into those apples. Now remember, once it reaches this stage, it's gonna really start browning fast, so you don't wanna get it too dark before you start loading in your apples. As this boils, these are gonna get soft and shrink. So what I like to do is just assume that I can fit a bunch of other pieces in. And I want the juices to begin to cascade down into the pan to sort of stop the caramel from getting too dark. This is going to help recirculate some of that apple juice's steam and lower it down in there and kind of force the apples to purge their liquid. These are now warm. And can I get another one in the center? Yep. See all that juice and caramel there? That's just gonna keep coming out of these apples as they cook. I'm gonna put the lid on for a couple more minutes just to draw a few more juices out of them. Our apples have started to get soft and hot. This has been simmering away nice and slow for about 10 minutes, and you can see here when I tilt it towards the edge that we've got that sputtering caramel. So it's almost there, and I can shake the handle and turn my apples so I know we're not sticking. And now is probably the time that we want to sprinkle it with our seasoning mixture, a little bit of clove and allspice and nutmeg and cinnamon and ginger. Stir that together. And then you've basically made your own pie spice. So now all we do is take this off of the heat, let all that caramel cool down a little bit, let the residual heat cook the rest of the apples. The telltale sign that you've taken it off the stove at the right time is no liquid comes out because all of that beautiful caramel is kind of solidified. I'm ready now to put my 2 leaves of puff pastry in here. Let's do halves. There's a half. There's a half, there's a half, and there's a half. And what we want to do is stuff those edges as far down inside this tart as we can. It's gonna hold our apples together. And I always just want to put 4 little holes there. That way it won't build up any steam balloons or something. And we just slide this into our 400-degree oven. I'm going to work very quickly to flip it. What you want to do is come in very close, as tight as you can, to the edge of the pan, because then you'll have more control over the area that the tart has cooked in. And 1, 2, 3. There's your Tarte Tatin. I just want to smooth those out with the butter so I get a nice, tight spiral. I'm just adding gentle pressure, but you see how I can draw those tips in and just get a slightly tighter presentation. As those apples have cooked, and you can see they've just absorbed all of that beautiful brown caramel. This is rested for a little while. It's still warm on the very bottom. First cut. Don't cut a triangle out of it. Just go straight across. And then most importantly, using a spatula, get underneath the whole thing. And then because it's very, very sweet, that dollop of creme fraiche. All your loved ones will be very happy. You'll be very excited to serve this stunning caramelized apple dessert. If there's a better autumnal dessert, I don't know what it is.